Welcome back to NBA coverage here on The Edge. I'm your host, Jacob Wayne, joined as always by Braxton Reynolds. We got one game today, so it's going to be a shorter video, but we got game one of the Wolves and the Nuggets taking place in Denver tonight, where the Nuggets are 4.5-point favorites. Braxton, I kind of just want to get some general thoughts on this series from you. If you want to make a prediction, you can, don't have to, but just in general terms, like, what are you seeing in the series overall? How do you think it's going to play out? Did round one change your opinion on either of these teams?
I wouldn't say it changed my opinion. I think that Denver kind of took care of business like we expected, and the Wolves did beat Phoenix um, in 4 games, which is a surprise. But I will say that Phoenix, we kind of overestimated Phoenix. It wasn't because of the Wolves; it was more on the Sun side. So entering the series, I think these are two heavyweights. It should be a great series. It'll be interesting to see whether they place Gobert on Aaron Gordon again. That's kind of the adjustment they've made recently, where they have Towns guarding Jokic and then Gobert on Gordon, who he's not going to space the floor. It allows Gobert to stay around the rim and kind of neutralize Jokic a little bit. So that'll be a key to watch. And Minnesota's depth too could be huge. Denver, they don't have Bruce Brown. It's pretty thin on the back end. Peyton Watson hasn't been as good as I thought he would be. So that would be a huge advantage for Minnesota.
Yeah, man, the Nuggets bench was not good in round one, and it was a big reason that they were in so many close games against the Lakers. Curious to see if that was just a small sample size, like they're going to turn it on against a better opponent, or if those concerns from round one crop up here. But looking at this game one tonight, let's get right into the first basket picks if you have any for this game.
Yeah, I'm doing only first basket here. So I have 2 plays. My main one is Jokic first basket. I'm doing 1 unit at plus 410 on FanDuel. So he's 2-1 versus Gobert in the tip this year. That's kind of expected. I think that if you simulated it like 100 times, Jokic probably wins around 65, maybe even close to 70. I think that he has a pretty big edge for the tip off. So picking Denver players will probably be a key throughout the series. So Jokic to me, he has easily the best game and team first field goal attempt percentage. His game is almost double second place. So it's not even close for his first basket usage. And then you look at the Wolves defense in the first quarter, where they kind of gave up a ton of shots relative to other spaces was the mid range and the paint non restricted area. That's kind of where Jokic lives. He's in that area. I saw a stat in, I believe it was February, and it was minimum like 900, 1,000 field goal attempts for their career. Jokic was the most efficient mid range shooter in NBA history. So it's going to be a lot of good shots for him from the mid range. I think the Wolves, they'll live with it. If he makes mid range shots, then so be it. That's kind of the best you can do against Jokic. And I kind of like him to knock him down. So I'm going to take him here. And then I'm also taking Michael Porter Jr. first basket other, plus 3,000 FanDuel, 0.3 units. So in their matchups this year, he actually led them in mid range field goal attempts per game. And the Wolves do a good job of kind of shutting down the 3-point line. I kind of expect Porter Jr. to be more of a scorer inside the arc this series than his typical shot profile. So I really like the other here. I think that against Minnesota, you need length and a bit of shot creation to get your shot off. And outside of Jokic, Murray, I think Porter Jr. is definitely their best option. I think if they have to, he's the guy that can kind of shoot over Minnesota. So I do like his other here. I think that drops to plus 21, maybe plus 2,200 by the end of the series. So I like the value at 30-1 here.
Love it. Yeah. You brought up in the beginning the Gobert versus Gordon thing. I'm definitely curious to see if that manifests in this game one. The two ways I was thinking about betting that, and I haven't yet, but the two I was eyeing, first of all, was Aaron Gordon under 7.5 rebounds. He's under that number in 8 of his last 10 games against the Wolves during the regular season. Averaged 6.3 rebounds on 9 rebound chances. So if they are putting him on Gobert, obviously Gobert is going to win the rebounding battle against him. So if that plays out again, I think 7.5 is a lofty number, and his hit rate this season for that number wasn't very good to begin with. And then the other one that I was thinking about that is going to take some gumption to play is going to be Aaron Gordon over half a 3-pointer. I think they're going to leave him open like all game, and I think they're going to dare him to beat him from deep, and he'll have the opportunities to do it. Obviously, not a good 3-point shooter, but over half a 3-pointer for about even money was when I was eyeing. But my official player prop for this game was Naz Reid over 11.5 points plus rebounds. This number came down after the first round where his role off the bench against Phoenix just was not as necessary. The Suns are a much smaller team, especially off the bench, so you didn't really need Naz Reid quite as much against their smaller lineups. But this is the series where I think his minutes will trend back up. He's over 11.5 points plus rebounds in 53 of 64 games with Gobert and Towns this season, so really nice hit rate there. Averaging 16.6 points plus rebounds with both players active, but really just with you're going to have one at least of Gordon, Porter, and Jokic on the floor at all times, probably all three for most of the game. So they're going to need the big lineups off the bench. And in games where he sees 20 to 26 minutes, which I would say is a reasonable expectation for him here, he's over this prop in 37 of 41 of those games. So 90% hit rate. So I see this as a nice buy low spot for Naz Reid. I like points plus rebounds plus assists as well. Whatever you have access to. I think it's already trending up to 12.5 at some spots for the points plus rebounds, and I'd still play it there. I think he has some nice upside in this series overall. Braxton, any Naz Reid thoughts from you, or any thoughts on the two Gordon props I brought up too?
Yeah, I like the Nas Reid one a lot because I don't know why, but he just gets so hot from three sometimes, and he's just a microwave scorer, even though you wouldn't kind of think it because that's usually reserved for your Malik Monks or your kind of guards. But Nas Reid can really get hot when his shot is on. And then the rebounding too. I think he won't really have many because of how many big bodies are going to be on the court. But I think that, 4 or 5 is definitely reasonable if Denver has an off game. So I do like that bet. For Gordon, I like the rebounds, but not the threes. I just don't want to trust him from three. I think he will be out on the perimeter a bit more than usual, but I think that the rebounding angle is the way to attack that instead of the threes, just because I don't want to trust that. I don't want to lay my bet on Gordon hitting a three.
You're not going to take the Aaron Gordon 3-point ladder, man? Come on. No, I like the rebounds prop. I got to dig more into that. I had to dig more into that a little bit, but go ahead.
Is it a negative ladder? Because I'll take that.
There will be a game this series where he hits 2 or 3 3-pointers, I think. But trying to time that is going to be frustrating. Braxton, any final thoughts on this game one or the series overall?
I think it goes 7, and I think that probably Denver's home court advantage is what gives Denver the win in game 7. I think that altitude is going to be huge for them. So, yeah, Denver in 7 would be my pick.
Yeah, I could see that as well. Hopefully Jamal Murray is fully healthy because he's going to need to be. Jaden McDaniels is going to swarm him in this series. And another angle I like that we didn't really get a chance to talk about is Jamal Murray assists. It's already juiced for game 1 to the over 6.5. So I'm going to keep an eye on. But I think his scoring is going to be a little bit suppressed in this series. And I think his playmaking is going to become more of a factor for them here. But excited to see how this all plays out, man. That'll do it for us. Hope you guys enjoy this game 1 between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets tonight. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.